Hello everyone, so this video is going to be all about what is and is not allowed in a glitchless speedrun. Now, this category really is more like glitchless with a little asterisk next to it, because if you're going fast, it's very rare that you'll do the whole run without encountering some form of glitch. But we don't call it no major glitches because then we would just have to add more stuff, making the separation between any percent and glitchless even less than what it is right now. And then the debate just becomes what is a major and what is a minor glitch. You know, we'd still be debating. But, you know, we just need a category that doesn't include those building skipping glitches and teleporting and getting into walls and stuff. So we call it the glitchless category. Now, there are a lot of rules as to what is and is not allowed, and that's what this video is going to be all about. We're going to start with talking about what is not allowed in a glitchless speedrun. Now, I just, yesterday, I put out a video, where is it? Here it is, called, well, it's an updated tutorial for all of the any percent glitches. It's an hour and 38 minutes long. Every single thing in this video is not allowed in a glitchless speedrun. You know, you can go back and watch the entire thing. Nothing in this video is allowed in the glitchless category. But there are some examples of things that aren't allowed in the glitchless category that aren't in this video. But I do want to show off one example of something in this video that also applies to other areas. So right here, we have... Yeah, if there was ammo dropped in this area... I'm going to mute myself. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, it looks a little something like this. This is the death warp outside the high school. It looks like this. You die at the same frame as the last enemy, and then it places you right there. Well, it turns out that you can actually do this in quite a few different areas. One of those areas being right here in the wharf. I'm just going to let this video play out. This is called the Robert Conversation Skip. It's basically another death warp. Here, watch. I might die here. Finally, the run's invalid now. That's never happened to me before. I can finally say that's happened to me. I can finally say that's happened to me. That remains the only time that's ever happened. But it is a death warp. You die, and then you're automatically respawned right there, just like outside the high school. Another example of a death warp is right here in the hotel basement. I'm using pre-recorded footage on my PlayStation 4 just because this is really difficult to get. But as you can see, I'm ungrounded, and you just got to trust me on this. I have about 1 pixel of health left. So we're in the hotel basement, ungrounded. I have 1 pixel of health left. Now, here comes the bloater. So the crap he throws actually seeps through the door even after you're through it. And this happens.
So much for that. I gotta find Ellie.
Well, there's my flashlight. Now, it doesn't show you here, but I had 1 nail bomb, and I used it when I started the hotel basement area, so I had 0 nail bombs. Basically, what I'm saying is I got all of my stuff back. And, yeah, just the whole nature of it, it's a death warp. You know, you didn't get the stuff back from a restart encounter or anything. We're very lenient with restart encounters. But when it comes to dying and benefiting from dying, we don't allow that anywhere. And, you know, as you've seen, this is just another example. I have another example to show as well. And that other example takes place at the end of winter. As you've guessed, it's another death warp. But this one's actually kind of interesting. Here, take a look.
What you got, man?
Now in this video, he's doing any percent, so this is allowed. But yeah, watch this. He's gonna have a Molotov kill him as he enters the door, and this happens.
Damn. Dude, that split.
So what happened was, it's kind of similar to what happened in Hotel. Except instead of the bloater's crap that he throws at you, this one is via a bomb. And what it does is it skips Joel, acknowledging Ellie's backpack on the shelf, and saves quite a few seconds.
Dude, that split.
Now that's obviously not allowed in glitches. You can also get this to happen if you're low on health and an enemy shoots you, like just as you're entering the door. You can get it intentionally with a bomb. But yeah, we're just keeping things consistent. Any death warp of any kind is not allowed. Now, death warps aren't the only thing that's not allowed in a glitchless run. Here we are in the hotel, and we are on grounded. There's something you can do in this game called a nail bomb duplication. You can only do it in a few areas, but it looks something like this. Now I had 2 nail bombs, and now I had 3. I can only show that off once because it doesn't work on a restart encounter. I'd have to go all the way back. But yeah, and the enemies here too. But you leap through, throw it, restart encounter, and then an extra one spawns in. Again, I'm pretty sure that can only be done on grounded. Maybe. You know, I'm not totally 100% sure. But whatever. I know it can be done on grounded. It's a thing in this game. That's the whole point. And you, off the top of my head, you can do this in Graveyard at the end of the first section, the beginning of the doggy door. Start of Pittsburgh, right here, at the end of Henry's, and then in the middle of Searchlight. You can actually do this. Nail bomb duplication. Now, even though this involves a restart encounter, we still don't allow this. It's a pretty big advantage to just be able to duplicate bombs. Like I said earlier, we're pretty lenient with restart encounters, but this is something that we're not going to allow in the glitchless category. So even if you do get the duplication, don't pick up the nail bomb. Okay? So, yeah. On to another thing that's not allowed in glitchless. This is kind of the only other example I can think of something that just hasn't been shown either in that any % tutorial video or what we've shown so far of what isn't allowed in a glitchless category, and that is the infinite shiv glitch. For those who don't know what it is, I'm going to craft a shiv here. So now we are empty on blade and binding. Now when we pick up our first modded weapon in Billstown, it will give us another thing of blades and binding to craft another modded weapon. So I'm going to pick this up. And we have a full thing of blades and binding, just like the game intended. So I'm going to craft another. Now I'm going to pick up my pipe and the modded weapon. And it gave us another full thing of blades and binding. And then if you swap again, you have another full thing of blades and binding. I think you get where I'm going with this. See, that getting your inventory refilled is supposed to only work with the first one that you pick up. Like your first Molotov, your first med kit, your first shiv. You're given the supplies to craft another one. But you're not given the supplies when you pick up another one later on. Naughty Dog forgot to turn that feature off with the modded weapon. So anywhere throughout the game, you can just do that and then do that. Your inventory needs to be empty, though, for it to refill. But yeah, you can have infinite shivs. And it doesn't work with just this one. This will work with any modded weapon in the game. Even one that you craft and then, you know, you find another melee weapon on the ground. You can do that. So, yeah. That's not allowed in a glitchless category. Not that we use a lot of shivs, but still, we do not allow that. So that's pretty much it for what isn't allowed in a glitchless run. I think I covered everything. If you guys have any questions about specifics, let me know in the comments and I'll answer. But from this point forward, we're going to talk about things that are allowed in a glitchless run. And I'm going to get started here with, where is it? I want capital. There we go. Doesn't matter what difficulty. Now, what do you mean things that are allowed in a glitchless category? Well, there are some things that look like glitches, but we allow in the category anyway. And that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. No more things that aren't allowed, only things that are allowed. That to the naked eye might look like a glitch, but we have a reason for allowing it. First one I have is right here. So there's a thing with dumpsters or crates where if you let go of triangle at the last second, it will push itself and you can climb up earlier. I don't do it in my runs just because I don't want to risk losing time for a 1 or 2 second time save, but it looks a little something like this. Nope, didn't get it. There's a reason I don't do it too often. Nope, come on. I need some momentum here. So, there we go. See how it pushed itself towards the end? So yeah, that is allowed. Like, it looks glitchy, but that's something that's so minor, we just allow it. That's one example. Okay, now I'm going to be a little lazy. The rest of the video is going to be footage that I already have. It's from like 2 years ago, but I explained everything perfectly, and as I was looking at it, I was like, everything's still up to date, and I did a really good job. So I'm going to rely on that footage for the rest of the video. I'll include a couple new things, though. So the transitions are going to be weird of old me and current me, but yeah, footage is still up to date, so I'm going to use that. So let's get to more examples of things that are allowed in a glitchless speedrun, and then I give the reasons why. Alright, this strat right here is hit or miss. So I'm just going to show you a time when it did happen, and that's kind of the reason we actually allow it. I'm going to go over like the reasons why we allow it in a glitchless run. So right here, I'll show you it first. You get in front of him, hallway fuckface, and sometimes, boom. And if you go far enough, and let's say I didn't clip on that wall right there, he would be far enough away from Tess so that he would be able to jog here. The reason we allow this is because sometimes, as soon as he starts talking, you just get one little nudge forward, like less than like 3 or 4 inches just shoved forward. Sometimes you get that. It's unpredictable. The reason we allow that in a glitchless category is because because it can happen this time or that time, we either disallow getting in front of him at all, or we allow that. And we don't want to disallow getting in front of him, so we just decided to allow that. If you do get it, great. If you don't, whatever. Getting like the perfect launch does save around like 10 or 11 seconds. But yeah, that's that one. Moving on. Okay, next is the downtown area. More specifically, the downtown jump. Now, there's 2 different downtown jumps available to do in this area. This one I'm about to do is not allowed and will never be allowed. I went over this in my any % tutorial. Come on. Okay, like right here, we're out of bounds, and then you fall off to the left again, and then go onward. That is not allowed in a glitchless run, but that's not the one I'm talking about. If I get Tess and Ellie out of my way. This one I'm about to show you, it's a different way to do that keeps you in bounds. This used to not be allowed. We used to disallow any kind of jumping up from here, but I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago we changed our mind, because it's very similar to the jumping off the cliff at the beginning of the dam area. But yeah, because normally we have to go down there and then go down there. Or you can do this. Now all of that stays in bounds. Even like right there, you are in bounds. Naughty Dog just didn't do as good a job of programming the invisible walls. And you land right here. Now this jump is a little finicky. I've lost a lot of runs trying to do this jump, and it only saves like, if you do it perfectly, 2 or 3 seconds. Depending on how fast you get it. So it's a risk. And there are many different setups. You can go further left or whatever, but that's the way I like to get it, so it works consistently. But yeah, that is allowed. The one to the right is not. The one jumping this way is allowed because you're staying in bounds. Landing on this right here, that's out of bounds. So yeah, something as simple as that. Okay, next is just a little bit further ahead. This one is in the downtown building after the fight.
God, we're almost out. Okay, Joel, you take point.
We're not despawning, we're preventing a spawn.
You stay sharp.
I want to show you something first. If you just sprint right away, look, there's always a clicker underneath the ladder right here, but he's not there. So we found out that if you get alerted before some invisible line on the ground, somewhere right around here, if you get alerted before then, that clicker does not spawn in. Ellie, what are you doing? Sometimes, what can happen is that clicker just doesn't spawn in sometimes. It's happened. We have video of it happening. I remember Uranto had a run where it was an old run. He would like crouch walk to the right. He didn't get near anybody. And that clicker just didn't spawn in for some reason. So it can happen just accidentally. But we can get it to happen on purpose.
I got it.
Distract that clicker. Now we crouch walk pretty close to it. Look, we're pretty close to that clicker. Maybe standing up causes us to almost get alerted, but it's consistent. We don't get alerted. As a result, that clicker never, ever spawns in right there. The reason it doesn't spawn in is because we, like, almost get alerted, but we don't get alerted. So it just never spawns in. And just because of how casual that crouch walking and standing timing is, that we never get alerted, we decide to allow it. If we knew that he spawns in and something we did, like, got rid of him, maybe we would say otherwise. But no, he just never spawns in, so that's the reason we allow it. Which I think brings me to my next one. Alright, so we're in the last part of Graveyard right here. There's two things here that we do that are allowed in Glitchless. One is pretending to go into this room to get Bill to move faster.
We're all fine. Let's just keep going.
That, however, has an effect on how they spawn outside. This is currently unpatched, but it has a much bigger effect when it's patched. Let's see if we got it. You can tell because there's nobody there.
What'd I tell you?
Now they're spawned in.
There's that truck
But
sticking out of the school right there.
if this were patched,
Come on.
I can only like explain it to you. The infected wouldn't have spawned in until right now. That point on the ground right there is when they would spawn in. So Bill and Ellie would do a good job of following you, and then this section right here would be very easy. Again, here, I'll show you. Unpatched. But if it were patched, that delay of spawn would last even longer. And we're just trying to speed up Bill there. All we're doing is pretending to go into that garage and then going upstairs because that makes Bill move faster. So we're not preventing a spawn, we're just delaying it. When it's unpatched, it doesn't have that big of an effect. But when it's patched, it's very valuable, actually. Whoa. Alright, now the other thing is the dropping of the gun. There's 3 hits left in my pipe. And the way you do it, have your revolver equipped, swing, it breaks, and then aim. And we drop our gun. And as a result, enemies will drop a lot more shotgun ammo. Now, why do we allow this? Oh god, what was the reason? Because it can happen by accident. This was discovered by myself accidentally, a long time ago. I remember I swung at a runner. It didn't kill him, but my pipe broke. So I switched out to a gun immediately, and I frickin' dropped the gun. Because it can happen by accident, we allow it. Here again. There's, what, 3 hits left. 1, 2. It can even happen like this. Look at that. All we did was like... Oh, nice, Bill. Can't you do that when the timer's going? All we did was like swing, it broke, and then we tried to switch out to a gun like right away. There's an easier way to get it, though. 1, 2. Have the revolver equipped. Break, aim, and he drops it. So it can happen by accident, just by it breaking and then like mashing a D-pad for like, oh shit, it broke, I need a gun, and he just drops the gun. Because he's throwing away the broken melee weapon, but if you switch to a gun, he drops the gun. Now we're like well aware that that's probably not what the game or what the developers intended you to do. But it can just happen so casually. It's like almost as if it's a part of the game. Look, I want to aim, but no. There goes my gun. As a result, the game has it as like... Oh my god, you can't do anything. The game recognizes it as... You're short 16 revolver bullets. I don't know where it went, but here, we're going to compensate you with some ammo. That's our reasoning for allowing it. Is because it can just happen so casually and easily. Here, I'll do it the hard way. 1, 2, 3. There it goes. There it goes. It's gone. So yeah, there's that one. You can also drop... This is another thing that we allow. You can also drop a med kit. You can do the same thing with a med kit. It's a little bit harder because you have to use the D-pad instead of aim. But the game will actually not deplete it from your inventory. So you pick up a med kit, and then it will like give you an extra one. Here, you know what? Let me see if I... Let me see if I can show you. Alright, so here's what happens if you... I have 3 hits. This is what happens if you drop a med kit. I didn't drop it there. Oh, I know. Okay. 2. There, I just dropped it. Now, it didn't deplete it from my inventory. So, free medkit. You just gotta mash up. It's not like a perfectly timed prompt like the revolver drop. You gotta mash up after it breaks. Oh god. And it's the only thing where it, like, doesn't really... It's not the only thing. It's the only thing you can drop on the spot that where it doesn't deplete your inventory. You can drop anything, by the way. I forgot to mention. Here, we have a brick. Oh, wait. No, I can't. Well, there goes my gun. I can't demonstrate a brick because if I have the brick out... Actually... Brick. You can do this with anything, but when you drop anything, it depletes it in your inventory. When it comes to medkits, though, that's the only thing where it doesn't deplete it and you can gain an extra one. The reason we do allow that, the reason we allow it, is because if we disallow this, it's basically the same thing as the revolver. Plus, in my grounded runs, there's not really a chance to use that. Yeah, I tried using it here, but it was... Bleh. Yeah. We're aware that it looks sketchy. But again, we allow one, we got to allow the other. So either we disallow dropping the gun, which can happen by accident, just with the break of a melee weapon, or we have to allow both. That's sort of the way it works. Now... Oh goodness, we were in high school. Okay. Actually, good. We can load up the next spot. The next spot I want to show you is in the high school. Okay. Here we go. We're in the high school. Now, we're just going to go Rambo. We're going to use everything we have. Molly. Nail bomb. Okay. Nail bomb. Alright, they're all dead. 1, 16, 1, and 1. We used up everything else. Restart and counter. We just got everything back. Why is that? Because we're playing on Grounded. That only works on Grounded. Grounded is a naturally glitchy difficulty. It doesn't matter whether it's patched or unpatched, although I've heard from some people it doesn't work unpatched. But I remember trying it myself and it does work. So you might not be doing it right. But yeah, everyone dies. Restart and counter afterwards and you get all of your stuff back. That only works on Grounded. Not easy, not normal, not hard, not survivor. Only on Grounded. But it's still weird. Why would we allow it? It's still a very weird trick. Well, I will show you why. Right here. Here we go. So watch what happens. You can even listen to old me. Yeah. Wrong one. Space. There we go. So happy. This game can sense enthusiasm. So the camera zooms back, fades to black, and places me right there. And then it's fine. It wastes like a dozen seconds. I don't know why. So watch, here's... The camera zooms out. That can happen accidentally. No, not accidentally. Well, yeah, accidentally. But for no reason. No reason whatsoever. And as a result of that, it acts just like the high school here. When you're spawned in at the door and then you wake up as Joel in the winter, you get all of your stuff back. So if it can happen in science lab, for no reason, you have no control over it. Basically, if we disallow this, we would have to disallow that in the science lab. But can you imagine having to end a run because of something you have no control over? And it just gives you that black screen shit? We can't really do that. So we allow it here and in the science lab, and it's also at the tunnel. I'll show you the tunnel a little bit later, though. That's this.
Run off? Is that it, Frank?
Okay, here we have the truck push. We're not going to talk about the glitch just yet. We're going to talk about something else.
Let me know when you're ready to finish this thing.
Here's how the section's supposed to play out. You got 3 waves of infected. 3 in the first, 4 in the next, and then 4 in the last. But we do a little something here.
And when we get to
I know how to pop a clutch.
First, I'll do it normally just to show you.
I don't care. Just don't fuck it
And then I'll show you what we do differently.
Now hit it. Hit it.
So anybody playing this normally would just
Hey.
expect to play it like this. Now you saw them like spawn in out of thin air. When we left that garage, there was nobody spawned in. And then here we got 1, 2, 3. unfortunately we got to go all the way back there. So the game spawns them in out of thin air. 1, 2, 3. Actually, clicker and then the 2 runners. So what we do is kind of similar to what we do in downtown. We intentionally prevent their spawn. We're not despawning them because they were never there. Again, the game spawns them in out of thin air. Once we leave this garage, they're not there, and then all of a sudden they are.
We should probably search the house. I'm sure there's more supplies.
It's a good idea.
Let me know when you're ready to finish this thing.
So here, just like this.
Put her in first.
If you restart encounter or you die, it won't work.
Already did it.
Only approaching it from the
Keep your foot
previous
on the
section.
clutch. And when we get to
I know how to pop a clutch.
how the hell? You know what? I don't care. Just don't fuck it up.
All right, Ellie, get ready.
So we're going to aim at the spot where he's going to spawn in. There's no one there. There's no one there. And there's one there. And that will prevent the spawn of the other 2 runners if you do it as soon as he spawns in. He's dead and we move on. And that's that. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. The reason we allow it again is because it's kind of like downtown. We're preventing the spawn of other enemies using basic gameplay. We're not like unloading a section. They never spawned in the first place. So we're just sort of preventing that from happening. And we deem that as okay. Which brings us to our next one, which is the truck push. I'll see if I can get it right here, because it's frame perfect.
Just get it over the edge.
If not, I'll bring up a video.
Guys, around that house, to your right.
Did I get it? No. But it will look something like that. Alright, didn't get it. Let me just bring up a video here. Bill's truck push. We allow this in a glitchless category. I'll show it to you first, then I'll explain it. Watch carefully, though. Hold on. Let me full screen it. So let's get going on those runners. Nice laugh. The truck is pushing itself. The other enemies spawn in, but we don't have to kill them because the truck just keeps going. Look at the truck. We don't have to push it the whole way. Now, how in the world could we allow that? It has to do with the cause of it. The way we get that is just frame pixel perfect. You have to stop pushing the truck the same exact time as Bill. It will never be the same spot, too. Bill doesn't stop pushing the truck after a certain distance. He stops pushing the truck once a runner gets a certain distance to him. So in that regard, you can't ever really get this consistently. So watch. Right there. Notice how we stop pushing the truck at the same time. That's what causes it, but just look again. Like, right at the same time, and that's what causes it. So that's really, really difficult to tell. That can save about 20 seconds. You know, that's really difficult to say. If that happens, you have to start the run over. It's like, I didn't mean to get it. A few months ago, I actually wasn't trying to get it. I just wasn't. I kind of want to get like a run without relying on that. And then once I get a perfect time, I can just like still get world records in the future if I get that. But you know what happened? I wasn't paying attention and I got it anyway. It's so specific of a time. Like the timing is so specific. But it was like a few months ago. I was getting it without trying to get it. And like, that's really the reason that we allow it in a glitchless run. Because the alternative is You got it. You didn't mean to get it, but you got it. Runs over. That just, we don't want it to be that way. So, we allow it. So that's truck push. Alright, next is right here. This one goes back quite a ways, actually. At first we allowed it, then we didn't allow it, and then we came back to it, and then we allowed it again. Here's the reason it was so, yeah, Lucas, that's the
Jane
one.
is stuck. Hold on.
Here's the reason it was so,
There.
difficult to tell. The way I do it in a run now is like this. Climb up here, and you climb up. It's not too difficult. You just gotta mash X pretty fast. Like, you can climb up, so we just sort of allow that.
Help me open this.
This is sort of the way you're, I guess, supposed to do it. I guess. There's sort of just one thing about it that we deemed as a little bit weird. You can climb up this thing from a lot farther away than this curb. That's really the reason that we eventually allowed this in. Look, I'm going to try and climb up that... What is it? I think it's a fridge. Or a vending machine. We're going to try and climb up from as far away as we can. Look at that. See that? That's much farther away than that. I'll try and go back a little bit further. Like, the radius of being able to climb up is just huge. Alright, I might be a little too far there. Maybe just a touch too far. Let's try now. There we go. See that? We just feel like being able to climb... Look. Being able to climb up from so far away, that's really the reason that we allow that. It's just one little hop. It's like they give you... It's almost like they give you the option. So we take it. As you can see, when we do this... Because one of the arguments was... How does Ellie get up? She gets up. She kind of like spawns back there. That'd be a cool thing to like take the camera back there and see what she does. But yeah, there's that. All right. Up next is... Henry's, I believe. All right.
You tried this before?
Here we are at Henry's. Now, the thing I'm about to show you is something that used to be disallowed, but we've recently, 3 or 4 months ago, we allowed it back again. So, the thing we used to disallow was being in our backpack, and then when Henry opens the door, we can get in front of him. We recently changed our minds on that. So now, it looks like this. You can get ahead of him. And then there's the enemy right there.
Alright, y'all stay close, okay?
I'll show it to you one more time just
You tried this
because.
before?
Yeah.
That's comforting.
Relax.
I think our logic at the time was there are no enemies there, and then they popped in, but we realized we allow like aiming through doors and getting past companions opening doors. We allow this pretty much everywhere now. We just want to make things consistent. So it's as simple as that. That is now allowed in a glitchless run. Now there's another one at Henry's, and it's right here. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
It's right here. This one's a bit more well known. It's the Henry teleportation thing. Just watch what happens. He did the thing! He did the thing! He did indeed do the thing. So what is the thing? Well, you run past him, you get to the bottom, and then for whatever reason he teleports to the door. Through the stairs, teleports to the door. Now, why would that be allowed in Glitchless? Because... Let me go back. Where am I? Here I am. We have no idea why that happens. Not a clue. We've tried bumping into him. We've tried pushing Tess and Sam back. Camera movements. We don't know why that happens. So to kill off a run, obviously it's a very glitchy movement, but to kill a run because that happened and you don't know why it happened, yeah, we're not going to do that. You know, we don't allow that for truck push. And we also allow, you know, throughout a glitchless run, or any run really, we allow enemies to teleport when we get ahead of David, knifing past him, when even in the area before where we're hopping down the railings after we meet Henry and we get into the toy store, Henry teleports through the walls and we don't bat an eye at that. So, yeah, we allow that. We, however, do not know how to trigger it on purpose. That's still a mystery. But, yeah. So the door thing, and again, being in your backpack or aiming in a door when a companion's trying to open it, you can do that anywhere now. And the Henry teleport. So yeah, that's it. On to the next one. Okay, here we are in the sewers. The thing we do in the runs that are like on the line here is we swing at a clicker as soon as they hop down and watch what happens. The clickers are always the first ones to hop down. I actually got the perfect RNG too. Hit that one. Hit that one. Now get away from it because you will die. But watch, they're frozen. Come on, over here. Yeah. No thanks. No thank you. No thank you. Anyway, those two will remain frozen. Unless Henry shoots them or you punch them again. So why does this happen? I have absolutely no idea. I just know that it does. They have to be standing like before this invisible line right here, like somewhere over here. And it has to be before Joel says, "Get ready." You have to hit them before all that happens. Now, why would we possibly allow that? Well, the reason is... What's the reason? Right. We only have a few shotgun shells to work with in this section. So the plan was... We didn't go out looking for this. This was discovered accidentally. Oh, and it only works with clickers, not runners. Only with clickers. So the thought was... They... On top of them, like, having to hit them before Joel says, "Get ready," you can stand right next to them. They won't attack you until Joel says, "Get ready." It's like they're in like a frozen state. And then that line of dialogue right there just like unleashes the beast and they start attacking you. But you have like 4 or 5 seconds after the first one hops down to sort of hit them a little bit. And that would sort of make it so I wouldn't have to hit them directly with the shorty or the shotgun. Otherwise, you got to get like right next to them in order to kill them. So the plan was swing at them a few times so I can like graze them a little and they'll die. It doesn't have to be like a direct hit. That just sort of ended up happening. It's a weird result, side effect. Frozen. Frozen. Get ready. So yeah, the plan was... Oh wow, fuck off. Jesus Christ. I don't have a medkit. Again, was to injure some of them, so I can shoot them from farther away and kill them. And really just because this is a basic game mechanic. If we didn't allow this, we would basically be saying you're not allowed to swing a pipe at a clicker. So, when you think of it like that, that's the reason we kind of allowed it. It's sort of its nature. They're still here. The way this section works is it's an infinite supply of infected as long as you keep killing them. There has to be 5 in the section. You kill 1, the game will spawn in another. You kill 2, the game will spawn in another 2. There has to be 5. Fuck, if you kill them all, one's going to spawn in from over there. So there has to be 5. When they're frozen like that, they're still there. The game still counts them as being there. So we sort of back the runners into this room, and then we kill them as late as possible, so by the time 3 more spawn in, Ellie's opened the door already. So that's the strat, that's the reasoning, and yeah, that's why we allow it. Okay, so here we are at the ranch. This one's pretty small, but a lot of people ask me about it, so I'll show it to you. Last enemy killed, restart encounter. This is how the section's supposed to look. We're right here.
Come on, back to the horses.
There's a little in-game cutscene of the horses going over there. And then you get on.
That's all of them.
But instead,
Come on.
if you go in your backpack and turn the camera, that skips the camera turning around and pointing at the horses.
That's all.
You can see Tommy do like a weird thing there.
Come on.
Let me point
to
the
the horses.
camera towards this way, see if it happens. Alright, yeah, it does have to do with the camera.
That's all of them. Come on, back to the horses.
So look at Tommy again. It just sort of speeds things along. People ask me all the time, like, how is that allowed? Well, all you're doing is being in your backpack. That's just a little result. This is like a side effect of it. This is a speed run, after all. You're looking to go fast wherever you can. That just sort of speeds things up a little bit. You're basically just like skipping the animation of the horses hopping over, and the camera pan and everything. Yeah, I don't think that one's as severe as the others. So yeah, that's the ranch. Okay, this one's gonna seem a little odd, but actually the deer.
Where'd you go?
Because you're supposed to chase it around this big looping map, area, section, whatever you want to call it, and hit it twice with the arrow. But as most of you know, you can do this.
There he is.
Hit it as soon as it spawns in. Now that in turn makes it a little weird, because you're not normally, like, it's not that you couldn't ever do that, but you're never really allowed to get this close to the deer. Hold on, let me show you something else. If you're too quick, the second hit doesn't register. But yeah, normally you're not allowed to get this close to the deer. And then once you do it again, it'll count.
Gotcha.
So that's the reason I go right here and I sort of wait a little bit. So there was actually a brief discussion of not allowing this anymore. The reason that we do allow it, though, is because
There he is. Gotcha.
that first hit counts. You know? That's one hit. It's given a hitbox. And so then right here, again, if I go too quickly, it doesn't count. So whenever I do it in a run, I have to wait like an extra second, so the second hit will count. But yeah, so the reason that we allow it there is because you do have a hitbox. And it does, the first hit does count. Yeah. You got to do the second hit a little bit differently, as I guess is a little side effect of the game not really expecting you to do that. But it's weird that it would do that, because the first hit's just like any other hit. So yeah, that's that. I really just got one more place to show you, and that's the tunnel. Alright, so getting close to the end here. Here we have the tunnel. The main thing with this spot is exactly like what I explained in the high school and the science lab. Restarting encounter to get your stuff back. So right there, I used the... I'm not going to explain the strat here, but I used one pistol bullet, and I'm going to use a bottle up here. That's weird. Okay. And I took damage. And I'm going to use this bottle. Alright, I didn't have to, but let's pretend I did.
Here, let me put you up there.
Now we wait. There we go. Okay.
Look out below.
Now, as soon as Joel's feet hit the ground, restart encounter, and we get our bottle, our pistol bullet, and our smoke bomb back. Just like the science lab and the high school. Remember, the reason that we allow this is because of that really no reason for happening black screen glitch in the science lab. If we allow it there, we have to allow it in the high school and here. But there's another reason that we allow it here. And I'm going to do the section again to show you. There's really like two reasons. I restart encounter there specifically, not to get my stuff back. I can still do the run like without relying on it. On like the smoke bomb and stuff. However, that bloater that you heard behind me when I restarted encounter, for whatever reason, has a... because they can't see. He has a really good aim. And because this is grounded and you die so quickly... Here, I'll show you again. Why are they getting close to me? There's the bottle use.
Here, let me put you up there.
That is the most consistent strat in the whole run, and I have no idea why. Anyway, the other reason besides getting our stuff back that I restart encounter there is for safety. That bloater has perfect aim.
Look out below.
Check this out.
We're good. Don't think I can make it.
It didn't work. There we go. I'm gonna run past. Nope, I'm dead. That first throw was supposed to be over and hit me. Dying there. The whole point of that is to show. Normally it lands like right there, and you have to run through it, which you can't. You cannot run through it because you die so quickly because of grounded. Even if you die, you still get back all of your stuff. It's not just with restarting encounter, it's with dying as well. So yeah, let me show that off one more time. It's not quite like a death warp. You know, if you died and then it placed you right there without it fading to black, maybe we would think otherwise. But yeah. Alright, one more time. Places everyone.
Here, let me boost you up there.
Okay, so once again, although I may not get it here because he's really far away, we'll see.
Look out below.
We'll see what happens. There we go. Let's run through it.
We're good.
Now we're dead. Oh, and he went swimming. So right there. I restart encounter right there to avoid that. You just also happen to get your stuff back. I don't want to have to wait for that to clear. So, yeah.
We're good. I don't think they can reach us now.
That's that.
Okay.
Which also right away brings us to like one of the last spots where we allow something a little fishy and glitchless. So this is how the section's supposed to work. You either boost Ellie up before and then kill the clicker when you when it wakes up after hearing Ellie. Or you can kill it. Alright, it's dead. You can kill it before and boost her over. The problem with doing that is you can't sprint later on. Also, if you don't have an arrow, which you always will, but let's just say you don't have an arrow, and you try to damage it,
I'm gonna need Ellie for this. I need Ellie for this. I need Ellie for this. I need Ellie for this.
Joel needs Ellie for this. No, but you can't.
I need Ellie.
I didn't know you could keep doing that.
I'm gonna need Ellie for this.
You can't boost her over with an active clicker on the other side. That was funny. So I was just fucking around with the game one day, and it turns out if you headshot it or alert it, point the camera up and mash triangle, the triangle prompt stays there for like an extra half a second. And if you do it quick enough, you can boost her over with the clicker active on the other side. Now it's a little freaked out. It won't really go after her like before. It's a little freaky because I guess the game didn't really expect you and this clicker to be in the same spot at the same time. So as a result, it won't really come after us. And as a positive result, speedrunning wise, we are able to sprint this entire section. Which is otherwise a bunch of slow jogging and climbing. The swimming's the same whether you're alerted or not. Like, look how fast you're able to, like, jump over shit and climb. That's the whole point of that. But that we're well aware that that's very, very weird. So let me show you the reason why we allow it. Because a later strat is getting him into this room so you can sprint the rest of the way.
You know.
But this is a glitchless run. How could we possibly allow it?
Come on. Be careful.
I got you.
Alright, so first, we're going to get him in here. Which is RNG. Sometimes he doesn't want to come in. Most of the time he does, though. There he is. Alright, let's get him in here. We can actually, like, push him around and stuff. See, look, we're pushing him. But watch this. That's what differs Billstown from this. And Clicker's not there anymore. At least I don't think. Nah, he's gone. That's why it's different from Bill's Town. Remember Bill's? We were punching it. We were just fooling around with it. Here, you swing at it and stand next to it, you're dead. So the clicker is still very well and active. That really is the sole reason that we allow it. Having not killed the clicker and keeping him here, we can sprint up there and then all the way over there. Which again is what we use it for. It's the whole reason of doing that trick.
Now what?
I'll figure something out.
But that is the reason that we allow it, is because you can still die from him. Alright, that's pretty much all the footage I have. That's all the examples I can think of. We went over what's not allowed in a glitchless run, and then, for majority of this video, what is allowed in a glitchless run. So, yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll answer them. And, yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys. Bye.